What's up, everyone? I'm CEO Connolly, and today I've been working in my office a little bit, trying to clear it out so that I can have full reign. I'm thinking about putting up a pegboard behind my new cabinet back there. I'm thinking about putting a pegboard up so I can put my bags and stuff on and hang some other stuff up there. But it is what it is at this point. So anyway, yesterday I was able to finish, which was September 8th, I was able to finish the new version of my Disciples Doctrine. This is the original with all my notes and crap on it. So there is the original. I did put the sticky note on it, but since I've only got just the one that I have finished, I didn't put a sticky note on this one because I have 5 of these orange folders because I have 4 that go with the actual series and then the Bible. So I've only edited just the Bible at this point. Now I'm going through another round. So the way that I do my editing normally is I will print it out. I don't normally put it in a folder. Like, this was a new thing because since I'm unpacking boxes and stuff, I found these folders and I was like, dude, I need to use these. Pretty sure it was because I worked in an office supply store and they were probably on clearance for like a penny each at one time. And I was just like, I'm taking all these. So anyway, so I started putting them in the folders and stuff because I wanted to make it a little easier to carry around with me whenever I went places and stuff. But so I always print it out so that I have it on paper. I can take it with me wherever I go. So when my husband's driving, maybe I can edit in the Jeep while he's driving. It makes it easier than having to stare constantly at my computer because I stare at my computer the whole time I'm writing. I'm staring at my computer when I finish with the paper edits. So I look at my computer a lot, and I know that that's supposed to be a strain on your eyes, according to what I've seen. So I don't want to do a whole lot of staring at my computer. So my editing is usually done on paper. But once I get it on paper and I take down all these little notes, then I go back to my computer. I put all those notes down, like I highlight the little section because I use Pages on my Mac. And I highlight the little section and then I type in a little note. So it has like a little footnote. And I do that throughout the whole thing. And then I go back and I check the footnote or the comment or however you want to see it. And then I go ahead and I change the little area. Or that little section. So now that I've changed all that, I need to go back over and do another read through. So I have the second one printed. Now, there is more pages in this one than there is in this one, but that's because this one, I actually printed that first few pages where it has like the title page and then the author page and then the copyright page. And I printed all of that stuff. Plus there's like the prayers for the cult in the back. And I did not look at any of those or change any of those because those were like my definites. Like I love them. I went through and checked all kinds of websites for the different prayers that they have. And I printed all that out and I changed it. Like whenever you're in college or English class or whatever, where you can look at something, but you have to change it into your own words. Technically, that's how I did it. Now, it's not, most of them aren't similar, but they are a little similar. Like, when you eat, like the prayer before you eat type of thing. So I'm serious. I went all out for this cult. It has its own total religion type thing to it. It is a little creepy. Also, I would like to say that in the Bible, I did add, and it was added shortly after the whole Roe v. Wade thing. So I did add that in there, as in the government has no right to tell any disciple what they are to do with their bodies. So there's that. Will tell you I did put that in there. I'm just saying, I'm pro-choice to an extent. But anyway, and I always say to an extent because I can argue both sides, but I'm not going to get into a political debate. Anyway, so I do have the next version because this one here is technically what I call my shit version because it was me just taking everything that was in my head and going bleh onto the computer. And that's how that works. This is why I always call myself an underwriter, mainly because once the idea is out of my head in somewhat of a story form, then I feel like, okay, now I have a starting off point to actually get my first draft done. So this, it's just a shit draft. It's literally just a a rough draft. So it is basically just the idea barfed onto the computer, printed out. Now I have to make it better. So here is my technical first draft. And I've already gone through the first page and found my first mistake, because sometimes when I'm writing, I get distracted and I'll look over to the side and then I'll type the exact same word that was already typed. So it ends up in there twice. And I'm not really sure if saying, the animals of the seas and air, or just saying the sea. So I'm taking the S off because it sounds weird. But I've only done just the first page. I moved on to the second page and then thought, you know what? Let me make an update. So because this is the Bible, so it talks about creation and everything else, and it goes through the story of the original two people that God put on earth. I'm telling you, it's a Bible. I just want to make sure that that is completely clear, that it is a Bible. So yes, it talks about creation and how the evil came into the world and why things are the way that they are and things like that. But in my Bible, everybody is created equal. It doesn't matter who you are. God created you exactly how you are supposed to be. And that's how the disciples live. Everybody is the same. Men, women, non-binary, everybody is everybody, and you are all the same. You're all created equal. You're all equal in this world, and nobody is better than anybody else. I do reference, though, in this Bible about the other Bibles that are in the world. I don't refer to anything as a Bible in here because this is the disciples' doctrine. So it is what they are supposed to live by. So I talk about the other books that other people have written, which they're called outsiders. So what the outsiders have written and what contradicts what God originally planned, if that makes sense. So it is God planned everybody to be created equal, but yet in some of these books that these other people have written, where they have created a savior, so it doesn't matter how awful you are of a person, as long as you follow your savior, you'll go to heaven, type of thing. And I think that that's kind of wrong. Like, people are horrible human beings specifically because, Jesus forgives my sins. Okay, but you're still a trash human, like, because you treat people like awful, awful humans, and you're just a horrible person. But on Sunday, because you worship God, you're okay. No, I don't believe in that. I don't think that that's right. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who, don't agree with that. But the thing is, though, is that there's so many people out there who say, if you don't believe what I believe, well, then you're not on my level. So I'm trying to create the disciples themselves as everybody is the same. Even if you don't believe what I believe, that's fine. Go live your life however you want. Now, here is the kicker, though. You will be shunned. If you try to leave the cult, you will be shunned. And that, goes into play with every other cult that actually has been, on earth here. So you don't get to just leave. You get, disemboweled and dismembered. Whatever. But, that goes into the rest of the book. But that's my thing. So anyway, but the Bible the disciples' doctrine is basically meant to draw you in. I really love this. I love what you believe in. I want to believe in that too. I want to see what you have. Let me go in and, be a part of this. And that's what cults generally do. They want to draw you in. They want to bring you in and be like, oh, I love this. Everybody's so loving and it's so great. And yeah, it's great to an extent until you start going, what is happening right now? And then it turns into, blood, gore, and a lot of slicing and dicing. But so the Bible is very nice. And knowing that there are people out there that are literal trash and they use their Bible or their religion to act like a trash human being is actually kind of awful. Also, and I don't know how many people have actually read the Bible from cover to cover, but my son and I would do this when he was a child because he just wanted to know everything. So it also shows in the actual Bible where men are superior to women, which is actually quite irritating, right? Women are supposed to be subservient to men, and I don't appreciate that. Now, here's the deal though. It does say that in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, it's a little different. Also, I want to put it this way. In the Bible, there is nothing about gay people. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sodom and Gomorrah had pedophiles, not gay people. Read the Bible. That's the one thing that really irritates me. There isn't anything in there that talks about it. It does say something about a man and a woman lying together. Yes, it does talk about that. That's fine. Whatever. It's mentioned in passing in the Old Testament. The New Testament is basically everybody is loved by God. Can we just put it that way, where most people aren't paying attention to the actual words and they're just paying attention to the person that stands in front of them and translates it incorrectly to them because that's how it was translated to them, which creates hate in the world. Just saying. So anyway, you are who you are. You can be, connected partners that's married. So you can be connected partners with anybody, whoever you want. You can identify as anybody, whoever you want. You are who you are because that's how God made you, and that's how the disciples believe. So in the disciples' Bible, everybody is included. Everything is great. That's just how it's supposed to be, to draw you in, type of thing. And a lot of people in the series itself are actually dismembered and disemboweled and all kinds of stuff for not treating others equally and, being very just awful human beings. That's just how that works. So anyway, I'm going through my next round of edits. So I thought, because what I had done with this and put it in there and changed everything, and then I was doing a final read through, and then I found some other things that needed to be, fixed. So I printed it, and now I've got to do it again. And yeah, I thought this was going to end up going to my beta readers like this week. Now it's Friday, September 9th. And it's not going to my beta readers this week. I'm having to take a whole nother week and do this. And hopefully by October, like early October, I should be able to get this to my beta readers. Hopefully. The editing part doesn't really take that much. But anyway, so I did want to give a small rundown about who the disciples are. They are, they're basically loving people. Everybody's included. Everybody now, okay. So there is the part where, whenever you leave as an outsider and you come in to convert to the disciples, you have to sell everything. Your car, your house, properties, all of that. All your belongings are sold, including all of your clothing, because you are given a specific uniform to wear so that they know, the hierarchy of disciples, which makes it completely irrelevant to the fact that everybody's created equal, because everybody has a different colored uniform as a hierarchy, because there is a chain of command of who gets to talk to the leader, if that makes sense. So yes, the disciples' doctrine is just as contradictory as the actual Bible. Just so everybody understands that the Bible is contradictory. It does contradict itself. The disciples' doctrine is going to contradict itself. There is a hierarchy within the disciples where, you basically have your group of the level of disciple that you are on, but it literally depends on how many outsiders you bring in. Where you're converting is how much you can actually build up, because this is where the MLM aspect of my cult comes in. So you have to have so many outsiders converted as disciples in order to move up ranks. So I have combined a lot of stuff into this cult, in order, because, you know, a lot of people say that multi-level marketing is a cult. So I added those aspects into, because I'm just saying, I thought it was hilarious that if you make the cult like the multi-level marketing type thing, so each one of them has a different level. And because those levels don't mean anything in a multi-level marketing company, they don't mean anything in the cults either. Everybody's basically equal, but there's a chain of command of who can actually talk to the leader. So like the person down here wearing, you know, the first color, I'm really not sure right off the top of my head what colors they are. I know that's in one of my other books. So these people down here are only allowed to talk to these people here, and these people here can only talk to these people here, and these people here can only talk to these people here. And then the people at the very top, those are the ones who get to speak to the leader. So yeah, my cult series, I'm sorry, but this is probably my favorite series that I've written. And I had my affair series, which was my favorite series until I wrote this one. But then the same thing happened when I had Friendly Misfortunes was my favorite until I wrote Killer Suburbia. And now, so anyway, I know I'm crazy, I'm nuts, and I love it. And, you know, and it's like, it's always like with multi-level marketing companies too, if you quit multi-level marketing companies, you know, all the other people stop talking to you type of thing. So since they stop talking to you, it's cultish in a way. This way they can stop talking to you because you've been dismembered. And there's no way for them to talk to you anyway. But anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to discuss my new cult series, and I'm hoping to have it soon. It's going to be published. I'm hoping to have the Disciples Doctrine by mid-March. So there's that. I'm already starting to try to decide on the cover and everything for it. So I need to get that done. So I want to know from you, the cover of a Bible, is it just plain with like the words on it? Like, how would you see that? Because like I have this here, but I know that it's going to need a little color for the cover because it just makes more sense, right? So I'm going to give it a little color, and it's just going to be a plain cover with just the logo, and it's going to say the Disciples Doctrine, and that's it. And I figured that's how it could be, but I was wondering if I made like the logo just kind of in the background, so it's lighter than like the Disciples Doctrine on the front. So it kind of gives it like a background to the words themselves, and that's where the logo comes in. Or should it be above it like that? Because each one of the chapters, they don't say chapter or anything. It just has this, so you know where the chapter ends and begins and all that stuff. Because this is just, you know, the Disciples Doctrine. None of them really need chapter headings where it says chapter 1, chapter 2. You don't need all that. But anyway, so with the cover and stuff, I'm, you know, kind of playing with a few things that I'm going to do with that so that it looks, you know, awesome and enticing. So I'm getting through all that. I've also thought about with like the first one, and I say a lot, and I don't know why, but with the first book of the series, I was going to try to get a bunch of people together, or possibly just take a bunch of, you know, where I've got some people in a photo and then just take that photo and like duplicate it enough times to where the people are constantly, where it looks like there's a lot of people type of thing. So I think that might be fun. Anyway, that's all I had. I don't know why I say and a lot. I tend to do that generally when I'm trying to remember what the hell I'm trying to say, because my mind is wandering and I'm trying to stay on track. But anyway, yep, Disciples Doctrine is getting there. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of September. Today is September 9th. So if I can get it done sooner, that would be great. But anyway, that's it. And make sure to follow me on TikTok and all my other social medias and blah, blah, blah. And if you want to continue getting updates about my disciples and my cult and stuff, make sure to subscribe and like this video if you liked it. That's all I got to say. And that's it. Okay, bye.